Aloha! This is Leimomi Keliikuli, Psychic Business Mentor here, coming from the Big Island of Hawaii. And today I wanted to share with you just really what is the spiritual definition, the real spiritual definition of what fame and fortune really is. And really the three reasons as to why you would need to manifest from that reality, and what really that means to manifest. When we think about fame and fortune, it does have a negative connotation to it, and we kind of think it is something that only rich people really only care about, and they're so masculine, or they're so driven, or those kind of definitions. And I think we kind of have a very negative connotation about it. And really, to me, what fame and fortune really means is it's all about visibility and doing and being your purpose. That's what I feel fame and fortune is. And the most natural thing that happens is making money. Making money is the outcome, definitely, that comes into our third dimensional nature, from that visibility, from that ability to share your message and be visible. So to me, fame and fortune is the same thing as visibility and living and being your divine purpose. So I wanted to really talk about that, because I believe that the truth is there is this belief system that those who go after fame and fortune are really just hungry driven about money. And to me, again, money is just a neutral transformation that happens when you give in exchange to your clients or your products or services or whatever you are selling. It's just the most natural thing, because in terms of third dimensional nature, how we receive money really all depends on our capacity of really giving that transformation. So if you're just jumping on in and you're just listening on live, I am actually really talking about the real definition, the spiritual definition of what fame and fortune is, and the three reasons as to why you want to transform that, and how to manifest using visibility. So I'll just jump into my content so you kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. So if you're just listening in now, please totally comment below and let me know that you're listening. And also throughout this video, totally make sure to share your comment at the bottom. And also share this with other people, because I think this is a very, very important topic to talk about in terms of in business, and in terms of our spiritual growth and our personal growth. It all ties all together. To me, it's all holistically the same thing. So the first reason as to why you really want to manifest using visibility is because, number one, is our soul just wants to create, and our soul wants to constantly create content. Content to me is value, right? Giving value of what your knowledge and what your experiences are about. So when we connect with our soul, naturally our soul wants to give. And what does it want to give? It wants to give love. It wants to give inspired action. It wants to give the ability to create and train people, write or sing or dance. These kind of things are naturally your creation. So from a soul perspective, we can only create accordingly to how visible we are, right? If nobody knows about you and doesn't know anything about your content, whether you are a health coach or you're a business coach or you're a mindset coach or whatever it is that you help people with, it's about that creation, the content creation. So that's really one of the number one reasons like as to why you want to be visible. Because it's about just sharing your knowledge and sharing your content, the value you give to people. Without that value, people don't know about you as a person, as a soul. What is your offering? So to me, your soul, or your divine gifts, is actually your what originally you made from source is what you really, really want to connect to. So, for example, divine power, or divine order, or divine creation, or divine compassion, divine wisdom, or divine truth. Like all of this is what we originally are made of, and that's what our content is going to talk mostly about. So that's our gifts, and we want to leverage from it. And the best way is to be visible, to be out there, so people hear and receive the value of your content creation that comes from your soul's voice, your authentic voice. The other thing, the second thing as to why you want to like manifest the visibility, being visible, is the second thing is that passionate storytelling that of your message, and that has to do with your experiences. So when we actually just want to be visible, we just want to talk about what our experience is about. Like, what happened to me today? What did I eat? What did I didn't do that I wish I have done before the day was gone? Or I wish I didn't say to this person? Or the experiences that didn't feel really good? Or the experiences of the things that was like really amazing and that you felt very, very inspired. That's about passionately sharing your story. So we are really here to be visible, to share that story, that message that we want to share, like day to day. And we can't do that without being visible. So what actually is happening here when you are, from a spiritual perspective of getting more fame and fortune, is you are expanding your energy field. You're expanding your consciousness. You're expanding the consciousness of all those that are following you, whoever are your clients, whoever, just, spontaneously became a part of your reality. We are all learning and experiencing and interacting together all the time. But the only way for us to really live in that expansive nature and actually be our purpose, and not let our purpose drive us insane about money or fortune, like this, and fame and fortune, we have to share and be passionate about that story or messaging that we want to express all the time. So this is why I talk like this and just share my content, because just talking about how I came up with these things, or what happened before I even decided to talk about these subjects, I'm doing that all the time. It's so important to do it daily. And so when we talk about visibility, we're talking about like constantly creating and giving value and sharing from your spiritual perspective and sharing from your divine gifts, basically, right? I hope that all makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, please totally ask me questions, in the post below. And then the third reason that you really why you need to manifest with visibility is that is the fact that we are an expansive person. We are always expansive, and we are expansive in terms of our energetic fields. And so when we become visible, we are expanding our actual energetic fields. Okay, so, and what is actually happening is we are up-leveling our consciousness. There's actually 10-dimensional aspects of ourself, and it's all happening all spontaneously, and depending on our consciousness, our mindset level, that is the level that we are living right now, we are experiencing. So there's that level of beyond the third dimensional, which is that you are your thoughts and emotions, and that those thoughts and emotions affect the way your reality is now. There's also the fifth dimensional consciousness of like, oh gosh, I'm the creator of my own experience, and that I am the one creating my reality day to day. Then there's a sixth dimensional aspect, which is like, it's that calm and that peaceful state of just beingness, right? And then there's a seventh dimensional aspect, which is just And when you connect with that, is that actual like connection of other people and how that interchangeably affects each other. That is where we are actually very driven to create more fame and fortune, or just to have more visibility. We're kind of like getting in touch with our seventh dimension aspect. Then there is like our 8 to 10th dimension aspect, which is where we're living our divine purpose. We're sharing our content. We're being visible. We are like absolutely living our potential. And there's no ego in it. That's just you're just all about soul expression. And when you get to those, to be in that dimensional aspect all the time, that's why the other parts of yourself, like, you know, your family or your friends, like it kind of feels a bit of a disconnection, because you are living your full potential. You're sharing that content, you're sharing that value, and you're telling your message and telling your story all the time, right? So to me, when the number one or the third reason as to why you want to that you need to manifest with visibility is because you need to expand your auric field. You have to expand your level of consciousness, and you have to live within all dimensional aspects of yourself. I hope that makes sense. I'm really talking about multidimensionality of consciousness. I hope that really makes sense. And it's about your own consciousness awakens. So that's actually about mindset. This has a lot to do about mindset. But mindset to me, again, is more about consciousness, awareness of the dimensional aspects of myself,